Welcome to today's Explainer. We're doing some serious insider due diligence today. Really peeling back the curtain on how the smart money actually operates in the trading world. If you've spent any time at all looking into automated trading, you've probably been absolutely bombarded with flashy promises, right? Unbelievable screenshots. But today, we're stripping away all that hype. My goal here is to give you a clear, structured breakdown of the claims behind this system and actually examine the math that separates alleged institutional strategies from, well, basically retail gambling. So if you're ready to look at trading mechanics through a purely analytical lens, you are in the exact right place. Let's get into it. Okay, let's kick things off with a question the retail trading industry desperately hopes you never ask. Why do the top names on broker leaderboards always disappear? Seriously, if you ever logged into Pew Prime, or really any major trading platform for that matter, you've seen them. You see these traders sitting at the absolute top boasting 20, 30, sometimes even 50% gains in a single month. It looks incredible, right? I mean, that's exactly what draws people in. But if you actually pay close attention and check that exact same leaderboard maybe a week or two later, almost all of those top names are completely gone. Poof, they just vanish. So what exactly is happening behind the scenes here? Well, here is the harsh reality. Targeting 20% or more a month is mathematically a guaranteed crash waiting to happen. There is literally no strategy on Earth that can sustain that level of return without taking on catastrophic levels of risk. To hit those astronomical numbers, these traders are heavily over-leveraging their accounts. They're exposing themselves to massive drawdowns, and when the market inevitably makes an unexpected swing, which, let's face it, it always does, their positions get completely liquidated. They get hit with margin calls, and their accounts are just blown to pieces. That is exactly why the leaderboard changes every single week. It's a revolving door of high-risk traders blowing up their capital. Which brings us to our roadmap for today's Explainer. We're breaking this down step by step. First, the high-return myth. Second, the low-risk solution. Third, the HFT engine explained. Fourth, the IB Hunter gold mine. And finally, number 5, is PU Prime safe? So, Section 1, the high return myth, and why it acts as a retail trader trap. The industry absolutely thrives on selling you this dream of doubling your money in a matter of weeks, but that represents extreme risk. Frankly, it's just gambling disguised as trading. On the flip side, the source material argues for a target of 2 to 4% per month. Now, to an amateur, 2% a month might sound, well, kind of boring. But to institutional money, 2 to 4% a month is viewed as incredibly powerful and, most importantly, sustainable. This is the logic the system's proponents say we should be striving for. It's about survival, consistency, and compounding your wealth over time, without those heart-stopping drawdowns. That brings us right to Section 2, the low-risk solution, and the institutional logic behind it. So if we abandon the myth of those crazy high returns, what's the mathematically sound solution? Well, this is where the specific system we're analyzing today, GoldBot VIP, comes into play. It's explicitly designed to target that realistic 2 to 4% monthly window, completely ignoring all the hype. The philosophy here is simple. A low percentage means low risk. When you're only targeting a couple of percent a month, the system doesn't need to take wild, desperate swings. It doesn't need to over-leverage your capital. The system is programmed to fiercely protect the downside, which proponents argue is the actual, genuine secret to retaining capital in the Forex markets. It's not about how much you can make on one lucky trade, it's about how much you can keep when the market inevitably gets chaotic. Moving right along to Section 3, the HFT engine explained. Let's talk about high-frequency trading. But how exactly does it do that? Well, GoldBot VIP is an HFT system, which stands for high-frequency trading. This isn't some bot that sits in a massive trade for days, just hoping the market trends in its favor while exposing you to overnight swap fees and scary geopolitical news risks. No way. Instead, this algorithm analyzes the market in literal milliseconds. It executes numerous trades round the clock, clipping tiny, highly probable profits. Because it gets in and out of the market so incredibly fast, it effectively minimizes its exposure to risk. It simply doesn't hold those large, dangerous positions that blow up retail accounts. It's surgical, it's precise, and it's entirely driven by sheer volume and speed. Which leads us perfectly into Section 4, the IB Hunter gold mine, exploring a massive structural loophole. Now, this is where we pivot from just talking about a smart trading bot to revealing how this specific style of trading unlocks a massive loophole for affiliate wealth builders. Step 1. The HFT bot is executing high-frequency trades continuously,
Remember, it's doing this constantly, day and night, just opening and closing positions. Step 2. Because of that sheer frequency, it generates a massive amount of market volume. We aren't talking about 1 or 2 trades a week here. We're talking about heavy, continuous lot sizes being moved. And now step 3, which is really positioned as the golden ticket. As an introducing broker or an IB, you earn rebates based on trading volume. Because this bot generates so much volume compared to traditional swing trading, the rebates you can earn are phenomenal. You literally get paid just for the sheer activity happening in the market.
The source documentation actually maps out a double income setup here. On one side, you have your trading profit quietly targeting that safe 2 to 4% monthly gain. But on the other side, you have volume rebates. When you set yourself up properly as an IB, you aren't just earning on the bot's profits. No, you're earning heavy rebates on your own personal trading volume, plus the volume of anyone in your invited network. It's a brilliant synergy when you think about it. The bot makes a steady, low-risk profit while simultaneously turning out the exact metric, volume, that generates passive daily commissions for you.
Now, we definitely have to address the elephant in the room in Section 5. Is PU Prime safe? A look at broker validation.
Because look, you could have the absolute most sophisticated algorithm in the world, but it's completely useless if the broker holding the money isn't secure, right? According to the documentation, PU Prime operates as a fully regulated global broker utilizing segregated client accounts. That means client funds are kept totally separate from operational funds. But beyond just security, the infrastructure is heavily emphasized. An HFT algorithm analyzing data in milliseconds needs zero latency. The system absolutely relies on this stable infrastructure to execute those microscopic, high-speed trades. It really requires the perfect marriage of software and platform to function effectively. And that brings us to our final thought for today's explainer. The documentation presents a very clear fork in the road. Do you want to chase fast crashes through high-risk gambling, or do you attempt to build long-term volume using low-risk, high-frequency institutional logic? It's a fascinating look into how algorithmic systems leverage sheer volume rather than massive market swings to generate revenue. But the overarching question really remains. As everyday retail traders gain access to these HFT tools and IB structures, will we see the traditional high-risk leaderboards slowly fade into obscurity? Something to think about. Thanks for diving deep into the data with me today.